She has over 350,000 followers on Twitter, and they all want to know just one thing: how to become a celebrity stylist. June Ambrose shares her secrets right now on Mediabeats.
Look, things change.
Anyone with a camera and a computer
Now
is a
they
good
always
idea.
pay attention
What's
to
the
where
user
they are.
value
You may evolve.
So June, in the new show, Styled by June, which is coming up on VH1, one of my favorite scenes is in the Misha Barton episode where you bring in a new assistant or you're trying her out and she pulls a bunch of looks and you're like, okay, that's not gonna work for the red carpet because graphics don't do well. Okay, this isn't gonna work. What are the biggest mistakes that newbies make when they're trying to get into the celebrity styling business or just styling business?
Osmosis. You know, sometimes just sitting back and just sucking it all in, you learn so much. I feel like anyone that I bring into my team, I try to treat it like a learning environment, very hands-on. I encourage, them to have an opinion and exercise so I can get an understanding of their eye and their level of knowledge of the logistical business that takes place when you're styling someone. And once you've gotten past the physical logistics, then we're talking about the mental logistics. How do you deal with a female who has insecurities or they're spiraling, all these different things. When you're new in the scene, new on the scene, I'll definitely ask you trick questions just to kind of see where you are. Humility is your best asset when you're entering a new area. And I learned that. I would just literally sit around and just listen.
And those are some of the intangible traits that you mentioned someone would need to have to break into the fashion business. What about some other specific skill sets? If you had to break down someone who's trying to go to school right now and says, I want to be a fashion stylist, what other courses or trades should they pick up that would help them?
I mean, the mechanical logistics of styling have changed tremendously. I mean, there's so many things that are factor in. For one, for young people trying to break into the business, there's 20 more of you. So you have to really kind of figure out what area that you want to really concentrate on, whether it's editorial, television, music video, commercial, costume design, merchandising, visual merchandising. There's so many different aspects of styling that will help you to figure out really what you want to do. But I say you don't want to be a makeup artist, hairstylist, and a stylist all at once. Not to say that you aren't capable of doing all those things, but master one. Like, if you master one thing and not necessarily put yourself in a box, because I would hate for anyone to just say, oh, she's a hip hop stylist. That's the last thing you want to do. But you want to have this thing that kind of makes you special. You're like, what is it that you're going to offer a client that makes you so desirable and make people want to have to work with you? Like, why do you have to work with me? But the great thing is that there's so many courses in fashion styling now. Whereas when I started, there were no courses. There were not even any internships. So I say get a really good internship with a person that you have a lot of respect for and that you're going to learn from, not just because you want to meet celebrities or not just because you want to be at an editorial shoot, but because you really want to have a takeaway. I know everyone that works with me, I'm grooming them to take my job. That's the reality of it. I'd be ridiculous to think that anyone coming in to work for me doesn't want to do what I'm doing or doesn't want my job. It's just the nature of the business.
What about getting the clothes? Someone who's just starting out, they don't have the connections to get a store to lend them something for free.
That's why I tell people you have to do internships because that is trade secret. All of those logistics, you acquire that knowledge from working, interning. That's the payback. Gaining that knowledge and access of how things are actually, how a stylist acquires clothing. That's what makes our world so elite. And if you give all of that away without someone paying the due to have that access, then the business becomes even more watered down. So to protect the integrity of my business and for those who are serious about breaking into it, you have to pay your dues. And that due is interning it like you were taking a college course. You make that investment because me teaching you is my investment into your career. So it's a trade-off. You're never just working for free. That's not what this is about. Because I truly, if I'm taking someone on, is because I have something to offer them, and I hope that they were willing to do the work and prove to me that they're worthy of being around. So it's a trade-off. You work hard and you get something back in return.